Good afternoon. This is maybe Old Salt Gamer. So I'm back on Mars, and this is a voiceover again. So I'm working on getting my two gas-powered generators fired up to power up my ship. So this is working pretty good. You turn it on, it works better at night, and I still have some power tweaking to do. And I did make a big change here that helped a lot. But you can see I got that set for 2 or 3. I've been playing with the pressures. With 2, only 1 runs in general. 3 or 4, I get 2 running. But that spikes the temperature, so I had to figure out a way to get the temperature a little higher. Now I might go with reinforced walls here, and in the future, and there's a program I have, I changed the pressure a little bit to see if I can cool it more. But I want to keep it with that program there. If the pressure is high, it turns the air intake off, so it'll vent out. But then, of course, if you turn the air intake off, the temperature is going to spike. But as you can see right here, it's running pretty good. It runs better at night, obviously, than it does during the daytime. But I got this running. It's working pretty well. I have to make some adjustments, which I do here shortly. And that's my air out. That's my air in. So I can probably tweak that a little bit too. But one of the big problems that I have here that I fixed, and I'm still playing with the pressures a little bit here to see if I can keep the temperature warmer. Now I could automate that too. I mean, I get plenty of power right now. I actually have the one on the left disconnected at this point. I get plenty of power with just one running, so, and that's what I was talking about. I got the exhaust going into the room, which is of course heating up the room, so I decided I was going to have to repipe the exhaust out of the top of the submarine. That way, and it's charging my 2 batteries pretty well. That way I didn't heat the room in there with the exhaust air. If I run it outside, it should keep everything cooler. And when I hit the switch off, it turns both fans off. And, well, actually, it runs until it pulls the pressure out, pretty much. And then it shuts off. I'm just trying to clean up my inventory a little bit here. So there's my stairs. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Now I'm going to go over here and print some pipes, so I'll probably call it a video here, but I wanted to show you. There's my... Now this is actually true. They do have snorkels on the top of submarines. They're not exactly like this, but they have air valves that you can extend when you're on the surface. Now, they have like water relief valves and flappers on them that if water gets in them, they close up. I can't really duplicate that in this game, but it's got the right idea there. So let me make a few pipes, and I shall be right back. By the way, I did upgrade all my machines with all the mods, and also upgraded my welder and of course my mining gear, which helps a whole ton. I also got the glasses. If you look at my over there, I have the mining glasses, which are a lot bigger help than I anticipated. I've used them before, but I could literally fill my hard mining backpack in about 5 minutes anymore with those glasses. It just fly around. Most of the stuff's underground. That reveals it for you. So I think the hardest thing it takes is stellite, maybe, but I've gotten past that point. So Alright, I'm just about finished here. I think I do 20 pipes and I head back over. Make it here. Oh yeah, calc at the end. Again, a snorkel valve. I do end up putting this a little too close to the intake. I may have to change the way this is piped a little bit, but I just wanted to get all this fired up. It's kind of fun. Like I said, this is kind of a fun run here. They did call it Mars for fun, so. I also upgraded some of my tanks, as you can see, to the canisters, to the better canisters. Now I'm going to run over here. Now, I do have to filter my air in my submarine. I don't have it really pressurized, and I'm doing this wrong here. I wanted to drain the air out, but what I'm doing here is over-pressurizing, so I have to fix that. So I'll be right back. Okay, so basically what I did is I damaged my glasses and went back up top and fixed it. And now we're ready to test this again. And you can see it's a lot. Look at how much cooler it is. It's too cool now. So now I'm saying, well, I'll wire this one back up. Now, again, everything's a little different night and daytime here. And you can see in the back there, I did run the pipes out through the top. And it's still a little too cold. I don't think they're going to keep running at that temperature. Although that sensor is towards the intake, so by the time it comes over to there, it might be warm enough. And it doesn't look like they're running constantly. No, it's still a little too cold. So here's where I decided let's try and lower the pressure a little bit to keep that exhaust from running quite as much. And that seems to have done it. That pushed the temperature above the threshold where they're both running now. So at night, this is really efficient. Still playing with the pressure there. And right there, it should start pulling in the cool air somewhere right around there. And it'll heat it up because it changed the pressure so long. So now it does seem to be going over temperature a little bit. Now I don't care if these pop on and off. They still generate a lot of electricity that way. And I come over here and I'm going to turn it down to 4. Again, the higher you have that pressure, the hotter that everything runs. Now 4, only one of them will probably run, but then we might try and fire up it. I really only need one. See, I get 11.6 kilowatts out of that. I'm certainly not using that much. Gas generators are fun to play with. I mean, I guess this will be plenty of power for the ship, but now I'm changing this back to lowering it to 90 actually. Now I can automate this too, have it go a little higher if the temperature is warm to a limit, and go lower to a limit. You can see how it does spike sometimes. You got to kind of be careful. And now I got it going to 90. And when it's cold outside, I could turn that down so it doesn't pull quite as much air in. And then when it warms up, I can have the program raise it a little bit to pull a little bit of air in without going overboard, of course. And still playing with the pressures. So now I got them both running. Yep, they're both running now. It is heating up a little bit, and I get my batteries are almost fully charged. It doesn't take long to charge the batteries with these. Even with one, it wouldn't take long at this point. Now it overheated, so they both shut off. 12.1. I'm not sure if I get more than that if both are running at the same time. I was trying to see, but every time I looked, one of them was off. 12.1. They're both running now. I should have ran over there. Oh. 50 watts. Oh, that's because my batteries are full. Yeah, I forgot about that. So now I shut them off. I mean, so there, that's all set up. Now I have to regulate it so when the batteries are full that it doesn't turn on anymore. And that's going to cause a little bit of an issue because it's two separate circuits. So I may have to use a mirror to get it to go across. But here's where I'm officially switching to ship's power. I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't need the shore power anymore. But I'm just showing you there's the gas regulator. I don't have a whole lot of gas in here, but these are huge tanks. You see I got 796 moles, and I get stuck here, so I may have to rework the wire there. And even less volatile, so I do have to do some ice melting. And here's where I'm going to say, well, how am I going to go to ship's power here? I was thinking about this, and I almost made a mistake. Not a big mistake, but so there's my battery outputs. So if I turn that transformer off, because that's for this floor anyway. And I decided to go up here. I have a spare transformer laying up. This is my, like I said earlier, this is going to be my wire and pipe passageway. And there's that extra transformer, which I end up taking back at the end of this. I'm still not used to what floor I'm on here. So in submarine terms, this would be, I believe, well, the engineering spaces, maybe. I was going to put them on the bottom floor, but then I would have had to run pipes all the way up to the top through all the floors, so it made more sense with this design to... Here's where I'm making my mistake. I'm like, let's see if I... connect it here and go over there, and then I'm like, yeah, then I could just connect it here, and I'm like, oh, that's not really what I want to do. This is the input to the generators. So I'm like, oops, wait a minute, that's not right. I'm like, crap. Yeah, you idiot, that's not right. Dummy, fix it. Yeah, stupid. And then I rewire that the way it's supposed to be. That's going to the back of the batteries. And then, of course, I pick up my transformer because it's in the wrong spot. My inventory's a mess, so here I was like, geez, I got wires all over the place. When you do right-click to take things out of your inventory, it doesn't always, it won't stack. I mean, if you have one in there, it'll just put it in another stack. So here I'm going to put this transformer here. This makes a lot more sense. And let's save the battery or the cables because I am a little bit short. I'm having trouble with my mouse button. So if I go here now, we're making a little bit more sense here. there's one issue here, because if I connect that, now they're not, the transformer's off, that other one, so it's not going to matter. So I put this up to 9,000, but the problem is I'm only powering this deck this way. So I have to figure out how am I going to get power to all the other decks. I have a transformer on every deck. So I'm like, well, I could do it this way. Here's where I gain that transformer back. Because now, before I plug that in and blow wires, I have to go down here and remove ship's power. Now I get a storm here, so I stopped it for the storm, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I did. I stopped it for the storm, which you didn't see because it's boring. So here's my ship's, my shore power line. So all I got to do is chop off my shore power line. I can't unhook the door because I need that to be hooked to shore power. I could hook it up to ship's power, but I probably will in the long run. But right now I need it hooked up to the shore power. So I disconnect all those wires. Now I won't get a short if I hook up the other end here. So I could take this wire from here. Now this is going to all my transformers now because it was connected to shore power. So all I got to do is run this over to the battery feed. And now I got power on every deck from the batteries. And I just run down to check this real quick, just to make sure I didn't blow anything. So now I gotta start thinking about saving power a little bit here until I get more fuel. So I come down here just to make sure this is still, you see the transformer is still charged, so we're good to go. I didn't blow up anything. So I am now using my own generators for this whole building, the whole ship. And here's what I was thinking, well, I have to set up somehow to have this node not to turn on when the batteries are full. Now here's the problem. I got the data connected to the hot battery lines and the data to the generators, which I said that wires bother me. I have a couple of those wires. I ran short of wires, so I cheated. I have some back there that I got to swap, and I was like, well, I'll do that later. All the way over to there. But how I'm going to have to use a mirror, a logic mirror, to transfer the battery ratio, charge ratio, to my IC chips on my generators, because I need to be able to tell the generators to turn off and on when the batteries are fully charged, and that's two separate loops. So I'll put a mirror right there, and maybe I can turn off that whole, I think I could turn off that whole housing when the batteries are full. I'll just turn, well, I can't do that because if the generators are running, they're not going to shut off. So that's not going to work. I'll have to figure out something else there. But I just wanted to see how long it took to charge the batteries back up. And I'm still playing with this setting. I'm not sure. I'm trying to, I'm thinking at this point I might just use one generator, because that seems to be plenty. And that produces a lot less heat. There we go. It's pretty much stable. I mean, it's probably a daytime out there, so it's probably not running real well right now. Like I said, it'll run better in the cooler temperatures at night. and the batteries are charged. It doesn't take much. Now, the generators are on a slight delay when you turn them off because it has a loop in the program where it's checking the pressure, and if it's depressurizing, that's all it's doing. So if I hit the switch, it may run for another 5 seconds or so, and that's it. So we're all set. I'm disconnected from shore power. Next, I'll be moving my machines over here, all my manufacturing, and I'll put them on the deck below, and I'll be pretty much shutting down most of my starter base, my pier base. So I'm looking forward to doing that. If you find this interesting, like and subscribe. I'll see you in a couple days.